Good afternoon. Right, hang on, get organised. I've been asked to sort of show some of my sewing methods. Yeah, it's very ad hoc, I'll be honest with you. I thought I'd show you these first of all, because then I've got one here ready to go. These are the gel prints that I did a while ago. I don't know if you remember them. Can you see it all right? I think the lighting's okay. Sorry, I'll be up and down, up and down. Let me put the... Right. Yeah, so these are the gel prints that I did a while ago. I don't know if you remember them. This is what I've turned them into. Sorry, that's very noisy. Yeah, so this one I've done a lot of hand stitching. I don't know if you can just see the quilt. Yeah, so I did a load of slow stitching on that one. It's obviously a bag. When I'm making these up, I don't actually, as I say, I don't plan it. I just kind of just do stuff on it, really. Yeah, I can't really explain it any other way. Let me run you through this one. So across the top here, I've got a piece of the Anne's Fabulous Fibres here, which I just laid down and then couched with the sewing machine. A large zigzag going across there. So that was that. In that pack that she sent me as well was this fluffy edge here. So I put that around the rim of the flap, as you can see. Also here, obviously a longer piece, but I just twirled it into a circle, stuck it down, and then again stitched over it with the sewing machine, and obviously the fluffy edge again there. So that kind of made up that. Bits of my slow stitching here, so that was that. On the back I used 3 pieces of a doily, again the fluffy edging, and a piece of crochet ribbon, which kind of toned in with the teals on here in that colours. For the handles, I had a strip of the this is the MPC, the multi-purpose cloth that I print on, so I had 2 scraps of that left over, so I've just sewn on 2 D-rings, and then I made a handle in this sort of flowery fabric, which is like a sagey colour, which, you know, the colours kind of all went. So yeah, I made a long crossbody sorry, I keep hitting the glass. Long crossbody handle out of that. I've done cam snap fasteners because they're just really easy for people to use. Lined it with the same fabric inside, and a couple of pockets. So yeah, as I said, I never have a plan for these. They are very ad hoc, and I make it up as I go along. so that's that one. This one here, again, another gel print. Yeah, in screen good. If you ever see children's jeans at the car boot, pick them up, because their little pockets make fantastic pockets for bags and things. So this was the hexagon printed one. I don't know if you recognise it. And then I didn't have another piece, but that I thought toned really well. So again, I've just can't remember the word. Zigzag round. Appliqué. Oh, appliqued on some of the hexagons here. Cut them out of another bit of fabric. Anyway, another trim that I've appliqued on, and another hexagon there that I appliqued on. And then on the back I just did something to coordinate. So again, it's another piece of that trim, half a hexie which was on the other side, and a piece of denim again just to tie it in with the pocket. It's kind of all about that, you know, it's all about tying it all together. And to me they make sense. I don't know, to other people they might not. I love these lacy zips. You make an exposed zip with them. It does change your sewing method, which I will show you because I've got another one to do here. I put tabs on the end and a little eyelet with a little dingly dangly thing. Can't remember what I did inside. Yeah, so just you know, just lined it with cotton basically. So they're nice because they open up really wide. Yeah, so that's that one. And then I've got let me just grab it, it's a big one. I was hoping that's not going to freak out the camera. I did this one, you might recognise this one more. This was the printed hexagons. I'm going to make this into a big drawstring top bag. So I've, as you can see on the back of this one, I've stitched around all the hexagons, and yeah, that'll be a very unique one-off big project bag for, or I might actually, I am seriously thinking about turning it, I do the film fronted bags, I can't remember what they call them, but the plastic, anyway, yeah, so I'm kind of undecided with this one at the moment. It'll be one or the other, so I don't know. However, the one that I've, whoa, sorry, knocking everything over. The one I've got ready is this one here. Again, another gel print. If you watch that one, you'll probably remember I did it with the wallpaper. Okay, so I've just gone through some scraps. The lovely Connie, when I made her needle books for her, she sent me this beautiful Paris fabric, which had all, let me show you. It was kind of all bits and pieces. I mean, it's beautiful fabric. It really is lovely. But of course, it lends itself for bits being cut out of it. So I've cut out the butterfly, which I don't know if this bit's got it on. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, so I've just chopped out the butterfly bit here with a bit of the background off another piece, obviously, not this one. And I've layered it up with another piece of fabric off that same piece, this piece here. One of the butterflies that I got at the West Point show, that's going to go on there. A piece of lacy top, it was a kind of like an over blouse thing, you know, from Next, actually, not mine, I didn't buy it. Anyway, yeah, that, and then I've put this piece under here because this is the lining fabric. So all this will be appliqued on, just going to stitch it on. You can do, what's it called, like the fusible web stuff if you want to, but I tend not to because I like to stitch it down. I just kind of got in the habit of doing that. So that's going to be the lining fabric, which is a beautiful piece of batik. Let me just see if I can lift that without moving everything. Yeah, so I'm going to line it with that because, again, it tones in beautifully, I feel, anyway. So that'll be the lining fabric. And then on the back, I'm just going to do another, it was off of another piece of fabric. Again, I think it was one of the ones that Connie sent me, which I'm pretty sure it was. So I've just took out a nice, interesting piece with Paris written on it, as you can see, and some more bits of that. Because it's got a bicycle going sideways and I really wanted to kind of disguise that. But I didn't want to cover up my background prints because that's what it's all about, you know. Well, for me it is anyway. So yeah, so that's the front, that'll be the back. I've got another piece of that off that fabric there, which was just a scrap piece at the end of the day, so I'm just going to make a very simple wristlet handle for it. And then I've got a piece of the batik and another piece of other fabric just to make a lined pocket for inside, and then I've got a white exposed zip which I will sew on. So yeah, as I say, when I'm making these there is no set plan. I just get out all my bits and bobs. I've got bits and bobs everywhere, bits of lace, bit of ribbon, you know, bits of doily, and I just keep playing until I'm happy with it, and that's it really. At the end of the day, it's just, that's all it is. I'm going to see now if I can swing you over to the sewing machine and see if I can get you in frame. Hopefully I will be able to. I'll be back in a moment. Right, I hope this angle's all right for you. I'm not going to be able to see what you're seeing, and I'm hoping my head's not going to get in the way too much. I'm just going to do the basic bits first, and that's things like the handle and the pocket. So I'll get those done, and then I can get those pressed and what have you. And then, yeah, you can see in real time just how long it takes. I'm just turning the iron on so that's ready. As I say, I'm hoping I'm not going to get my head in the way. I apologise if I do. Right, and I'll show you how to do these fancy zips because they're rather nice. Right, I need to take my glasses off so I can see what I'm doing. Right, so the handle is very simply a piece. I didn't even measure it, so I've just cut a piece, folded it in half and half again. So I'll just whiz down the side with that. I've got grey on the top and I've got cream underneath. Yeah, just, you know, standard stuff really. The foot pedal on my machine has never worked, so I have to use the stop-start button. Speed it up. Straight line. Sorry, I should have done this first. It's very noisy. But you get to see it in real time. I've just lined up the edge of the fabric with the inside edge of my foot. And I'm just letting the machine do its thing. So that's that. This is why I want a machine with an automatic cutter. So that's the handle ready. So we'll put that there. I'll just quickly do the pocket, hopefully without disturbing everything. Right, you just need to leave a gap to turn when you do a pocket, so I'll just start that there. I just use the edge of my presser foot as my guide for width stitching. Again, just let the machine do its thing. Just, you know, just hold it, guide it. There's no rocket science here, peeps. Sorry. Right, just gonna, when you do the corners, chop in, sort of come in at an angle, chop across and then out at an angle. That gives you a really nice corner in when you turn it through, I find anyway. Take out the bulk at the side seams as well. Don't know if you're seeing this, sorry. I think you will be if I go about there. Right, so that's that. We'll just turn it through. Good old chopstick. Well, actually it's a, yeah, no, it's a chopstick, yeah. Oh, okay, don't poke your corners through. I did cut too close there. So I'll just quickly, always up the side there again. Wally. Should be enough. I just went in about another, I don't know, a bit. Again, there's no measuring. I love making these because, say, there's no pattern, there's no set sizes. I just cut the fabric that I've printed, the MPC, multi-purpose cloth, that stands for, by the way, and yeah, go from there. And you can see it stays really supple, you know, it doesn't go all cracky and horrible, and that is just acrylic paint onto the fabric. It's really good for that. So just give that a quick press. Just roll your seams as you're pressing. Back with you in a second. I like to do a top stitch across the edge Again, I'm just going to line it up there and move my needle the other way. Should be about right. I'll just grab one of the lining pieces and I stitch that on because I tend to forget them otherwise. I get right to the end, I'm like, oh, I didn't put the pocket in, and then I struggle. Right, ruler, where have you gone? Over there, hiding. Right, I tend to come down, I don't know, about 1.5 inches, whatever's convenient really. That's about right. We'll try and sort of kind of centralise it. So it's 2 1/8. Needs to come over. Yep, that's fine. Right, so again, I don't know if you can see. Let me see what you can see. I don't think I can get you any lower. I just want to show you the edge of the. Can you see? Kind of. Yeah. So the edge of the foot here, I just use that as the guide. I'm just going to slow it down a tad. I tend to go backwards and forwards over the top there. Pin if you want to pin. I rarely pin. Needle down, swivel it around. I'm going to seal the bottom at the same time here. I've got the gap there, so we'll catch that with the same stitching. Just take your time if you're not that confident, you know, just you do you. Best to go backwards and forwards at the top because that's the pressure point, and I've got a stab stitch that just sort of seals it all in, so that's all cool. And that way I can clip right up close. Again, you see, this is why I want one that automatically cuts. Make my life a lot quicker. Right, I'm just going to eyeball roughly the middle. Might leave enough space for a phone to go in, I think. So start about there. Again, just do a cast off stitch, I call it, but it's probably got an official name. But it just bounces up and down on the spot, and it just right, so pocket's in, so that's good. I'm not going to forget it. I hope this is all making sense. It probably isn't, but I'm just going to give that a quick iron just to set that in. Right, okay, so that's 1/2 of the lining, cool. Right, so now I'm going to go on to stitch the applique parts. I'm going to see if I can get you down here. I think because you're probably not going to see anything right up there. What I tend to do is just lift the whole thing, get it under there. Having a table is a godsend, it really is. Yeah, let me see if I can get you down a little bit lower. I'm going to pause you for a second, hold on. Right, I've got you zoomed in. Hopefully you're going to be alright there, and hopefully my head's not going to get in the way. I'll clip over to the side here so that I give you as much room as possible. Okay, I'm going to change to a zigzag now, because I like to do quite a close zigzag, but quite small. So I'm going for about a size 3, but a 1.5 gap. I don't know if you can actually see the buttons. Yeah, you kind of can. 7 is my stitch. So I've got a size 3, that'll be the zigzag bit, and it's 1.5 apart. I think that makes sense. Okay. So again, I'm just going to use the edge of my foot here as a kind of a guide to keep it away. I'm going to take the butterfly off. He's going to be the last thing I put on. So I'm just going to stitch down here and move stuff when I need to. Again, if you're not happy with doing it that way, just pin the life out of it, okay? But I get a bit frustrated with pins. So I'm going to slow it down slightly so I can take my time. Try and get both at the same time there. Hopefully that'll work. Okay, let's miss that bit. Okay, we'll just concentrate on the top bit first. Oop, stop. I'm at an awkward angle, I can't see what I'm doing really. Excuse me. You don't have one of these tables to the side, they are worth it. They make your life so much easier. Sorry, I'm probably blocking your view there, sorry. So I'll do my locking stitch. Snippers. Right, let's just concentrate on getting these two stitched down now. Move that up just ever so slightly. If you're nervous about getting your hands that close, use your stick or a pointy tool or something. Okay, I'm just going to try not to move that too much. And just hold it. It tends to just want to stay there for me, thankfully. So I'm just going to come along here. Stop that, swivel that round. I should be able to get that in the right place. I'll just move that for a second. Just want to stitch these down. That middle piece will be caught when I stitch down the lace, so I'm not too worried about that. But just roll that back down, get that situated. Somewhere about there. Okay, now this is the bit where I'm just going to be sort of doing a lot of stopping and starting. chosen grey, and hopefully for the top thread, and hopefully it won't show. See if I can get under there a bit further first. Sometimes you have to use a little bit of brute force just to get it to go under. I'll stitch that flower on in a minute. Just move over here. This bit is fiddly, but it's worth it. It looks nice when it's done. So there's a lot of stopping and starting with this process, but you don't need to catch everything down, you just need to get kind of like the outside of it really. You can go in here if you want to, it's completely up to you. I probably won't, I don't know. We'll see how it holds. If it holds well, you know, you don't have to stitch it down too hard. So that's gone around the edge, and that should be fine actually. Yeah, I kind of like, you know, I'd like it to allow to have a little bit of movement. Right, I'm just trying to think how I'm going to stitch this. I'm really tempted just to sort of go in and out, but it's got a stone in the middle there, so I'm going to be careful. I might just do, let's just go back to straight stitch. Didn't think about this. I could hand stitch it, but I'll just risk it for a biscuit here. It's not going to like this at all, but it might be right actually. What I'll do is I'll just chop the top thread and not the bottom, and you can hold it on even more then. So leave the slowing it down a little bit. Again, if you've got a machine with the scissor action, lucky you. I'm going to get one. I've decided I'm going to have to bite the bullet and just get one because it's driving me cuckoo. See, ideally I could just push a button, boom. So, yeah. It's a double petal, this one, so I'll do a double stitch on here. Again, we're just sort of, you know, just sort of holding it down really. It doesn't need to. So just backwards and forwards on there, just to give it a bit of a, well, to stitch the flower down and to give it a little bit of shape and what have you. Let me just get rid of these threads, otherwise right. And I'll need a double as well. I leave it to bounce up and down there, and that sort of does a locking stitch for itself then, basically. Right, I will cut the bobbin thread now. That should be sufficient to hold that down. So we're on, that's it, we're all done. I probably, this has got the heat sticky stuff on the back here, so I might just use that. Yeah, I will. I'll move it over to the ironing table because the iron's on, so it's ready to go. Okay, sorry, that's probably my head right in the screen then. Pardon me. Right, this one's a lot more simpler because I've only got one square and 2 bits of lace, so that's fine. Yeah, I should remember where that goes, hopefully. Right, so back to zigzag. Take it down to a 3, but it's quite close, okay? Missed. If I was just doing that square and no other stitching on top, I would use some of these stitch and bond or something like that, just to stick it down basically, because I wouldn't trust that doing the edges here is going to be enough. But because I know I'm going to stitch over the lace on the ends and over there, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Bit. So I just want to put that there now. I don't quite know how to attack this one. I might try and get underneath first of all. Slow that down a bit, and then I might just stitch the petals. Let's be sticks. Let me just come out for a minute. Thank you. Might be enough actually. Right, what I might do is, it's not going to go right over. Okay, let me get my, sorry, excuse me. I'm going to get my zipper foot on because that can get closer. Take it off a zigzag before I forget. Otherwise I have a broken needle. There it is, before bedtime, everything. And try and get right up close, because I don't know if you can see, it's got like a, I don't know if it's going to work. Might do. Just gently move it around. More sensible thing to do would be to take off the blinking gem in the middle and just stitch that on after. We'll see how we go. Where there's a will. Just take your time. Right. Yeah, if you use your zipper foot, make sure you take it off of zigzag. Oh, ask me how I know that. Right, let's go back to my normal foot. And go in there, threads, thank you. Right, let's put this one on. I really want to disguise that bike bit, but I don't want to cover up the 1889 Paris bit. So, okay, let's go back to zigzag. Go down to a 3, ooh, 3, 1.5, cool, go. Again, if you colour match, you know, if you get your threads fairly close to the colour, you're hardly going to see this stitching. It's great. Not going to go right down to the end. Just go around here. If you make a boo-boo, just get your stitch ripper out. Again, I might get away with not having to stitch that flower down. It's only because the other one was a bit looser than this one. I bothered. Come on, behave yourself. I've got a jeans needle in. I like to work, unless I'm doing really delicate fabrics, I do like to work with a jeans needle almost exclusively, because I'm quite harsh. I'm asking it to do things that it doesn't really want to do, so they definitely don't like turning circles, these things. Where did I start? Over there. Oops. Gosh, I hope you're seeing this all right. I'm going to detach that bit that's annoying me. Okay, right, so that's the back done. Right. Just trim off all these threads, otherwise they bugger the life out of me. Right, I'm just going to pause you again. I'm going to heat seal on the butterfly. Okay, sorry, I've got you zoomed in. Yeah, and then I'll get set up. I need to change the thread colour because I'm going to do the zip next. All right, so back in a tick. Right, I've changed my thread colour to white. Still got cream in the bobbin because I'm going to stitch the zip on now, and it's very white. Well, anyway, yeah, I'll stop rambling. Right, okay, so I need my lining pieces now. Because these zips go on the outside, you kind of, well, I'll show you, it's easier if I show you. Right, so my back piece, which is this one, I'm going to put the pocket on the back. I don't know, I guess it doesn't really matter where you put it, but yeah, so I'm just going to line up here and stitch that together. Very simply, just stitch it together. Again, pin it if you don't like going ad hoc. Off-pieced. Make sure your pockets are up the right way, by the way. Yeah, done that a few times. Did she? Yes, she did. Just checking. Right. I need to give them a quick press. I've just chucked it over there. I'm just literally stitching them. This fabric doesn't have an up and a down, so I'm just going to stitch them together. Come on, behave. Again, just using the edge of my foot. I think it's about 1/4 inch, I think. Right, bear with me, I just need to press those open so they're nice and flat. I'll be back with you in a tick. Sorry, back in a ticky. Tickety boo. That's one. Talk amongst yourselves for a sec. Back with you imminently. Right, sorry, I wanted to give them a good pressing. Okay, so you need your pressed edges like that, okay, back and front. Move that one over there out of the way for a minute. With your zip, I tend to leave them the full length. I don't mind if they hang over, it doesn't bother me at all. It gives you a chance to do the gives you a chance to do the tabs on the end like that, okay. This one's slightly wider, so it's not going to hang over an awful lot, but I really want it to hang over. So when you're doing these, offer your zip up, and it must go on the outside, but don't go, let me see if we can get you right up close, sorry, don't go like that, okay, because if you do, your zip is going to get caught underneath, okay. We have to have it hanging. I don't know if you can just see through. You just see through there, the two things at the top, all right. Yeah, you need that, otherwise you are going to be, your zip will be catching all the time. Now I will pin this. Where's my pins? Over there. I will give this a quick pin. Because it tends to want to walk otherwise. You can't put the clips on, they just don't reach over. So you do have to pin this. And you do one side at a time, don't try, well you can if you really, I just tend to do one side at a time, I just find it easier. Just so you can see through there, that's it. Just need make sure that that isn't going to catch underneath. It's a little bit close there, I think. I'll just move it a tad and pin. Right, okay, now the other thing I like to do is to leave about an inch at the end. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pause you, pin it, and I'll show you. Yeah, I'll try and explain why. Back in a tick. Right, okay, sorry, I was having trouble seeing if I'd got that over the edge, and I have now, so I'm happier with that. I don't know if you are even going to get that. You can just kind of see, yeah, there. Okay, you just have to come to the side of it. Right, now you can put your zipper foot on if you wish. I usually, oh, and the other thing, I nearly forgot that then, is I always start about an inch in, and that will become apparent in a moment. I'm just going to use my friction pen, which I know disappears. Ooh, stay still. About there. The reason I'm leaving that is if I start my stitching right at the end here, when I come to sew my seams, it's all going to be wonky. It's not going to work. So I start here, and that leaves me plenty of room to, it'll become apparent. Probably not explaining that well at all. Right, where's my end? Let me try and do that a bit. The other one was easier because the zip was hanging right over, so I'm just going to move my needle over as far as it'll go. It should be about right. So when I stitch this, I aim for about the middle of the flower. You're going to see your stitching. There's just no other way around it with these zips, unfortunately. But I am starting about an inch-ish. Slow that down a bit. Let's move you up there. Take your time. Because if you rush this bit, it will mess up. Always making sure I've got those two eyelet bits with nothing behind them here. I'm just checking it as I'm going and adjusting if needed. It's best to do it now, because otherwise, as I say, if it all catches underneath, you're just going to curse yourself. See, I can't see the holes there, so I'm just going to remove that. So there we are. Now I can see them. I don't want any chance of this catching on the lining. Just keeping the presser foot pushed right up to the edge of the zip. And where's that mark? There it is. Right. You can go back and do another line of stitching if you want along the bottom here. I tend to find one line is enough, but yeah, it's just personal preference really. I find it's enough. Right, now you might not be able to see much of this because it gets very awkward because I've got two pieces of fabric going through now. But basically make sure that you're going the right way. Okay, so that's the way I want it to go. So it's going to go up to there like that. Just going to get rid of that annoying thread. So I'm just going to butt this up. Just see if you're seeing any of this. Yeah, you are kind of. Okay, get you out of the way. Right, so it's the same again. Okay, just check that your fabric's lining up at the edges, which it is. I might not be able to do this whilst you're on screen. Let's see if I can pin it this way. No, I'm going to have to pause you again. I need to take it over there and pin it. Back in a second. Right, I'm pinned. I'm just going to... Right, I need to move the needle that way now, so as far as it'll go. Right, thank you. Let's get you out of the way. Okay. So again, using that mark. Stay still, thank you. You won't go over any further, will you? I don't know if I'm going to hit it just right. It's a bit fiddly, but hopefully it might be okay. Right, okay. We'll just go for it. We'll risk it for a biscuit. Get that right out of the way. Yeah, I think we're on course. To be honest, as long as it's stitched on, you know, don't be plenty of stopping and starting. Just take your time. It is not a race. Sorry, my hands are in the way. I need to. Relax. Okay. Right, okie dokie. So our zip is in. We are not going to catch the fabric underneath, which is brilliant. So yeah, so that's all good. Right, so before I go any further, I just want to put on the handle. So I'm just going to flap the lining out of the way. So on the front here, the front of the bag. And does it have a direction? Not really, no. So just got to decide what I want. I think I like that side better. Or do I? Doesn't matter, just use a car. Yeah, I do. Right, just do it. Sorry, faffing. Right, so I'm just going to pop that there. No measurements, just, you know, just put it there basically. There's my box of clips. Where have you gone? Why does everything disappear on me as soon as the camera goes on? You see them? Big white box of clips. Okay, fine. I'll just pin it then. Didn't want to clip it anyway. Right, just gonna pin. Actually, I'll tell you what I'll do. I don't like pins. I'm not keen on pins. I'll just base just inside the base that on, and also I want to put a label on. So I just want to do that as well. Covered in fluff as usual. Yeah, you face them in towards so that when you stitch your side seams, they kind of pop out. If that makes any sense. Right, I've got those basted on now. I'm going to leave my zip. Okay, but what we're going to do is tuck it out of the way. I will pin that there. I'm going to tuck it out of the way. I don't want it caught in my side seams. It might be a bit awkward the other end, but we'll see. So just pin it out of the way. Yeah, I haven't got as much room on this one. But again, I don't want it in the side seam. So I'm just going to make it. You're going to go whether you like it or not. Let's get rid of blinking threads. Oh, I can't wait to get a machine that cuts them for me. Tell you what I'll do. Let's just pin you there. Just need to have these out of the way because they cause trouble. Let's open our zip now. Let's do it now. Yeah, so I'm going to close it up now, basically. So the two bits you need to concentrate on getting are... This is why I didn't stitch right up to the edge. I wouldn't be able to get the zip out of the way yeah, and it would have that weird zip bit. If you do the tab thing, which I've shown you before, then fine, just do that. Oh, come on, this is ridiculous. Where have my clips gone? I really, really need them now. Oh, closer there, they're biting my hand off. Right, so I've just lined up the two sides here. Just going to clip those. Remember to leave a gap at the bottom. I'm not going to box the bottoms on this one. It's I don't want to, basically. I didn't on the other one. No, I didn't. No, just checking that. Yeah, you don't have to box the bottoms. This is going to be a little bag, so I'm not going to worry too much. I tend to put the flaps in towards the lining. Come on, just behave yourself, please. Right, that'll do. That'll be sufficient. We can move those around. Right, so I always start at the bottom. Hopefully things are lining up. I kind of guesstimate halfway, kind of, you know, just a... I didn't move that needle over. Darn. Is it going to matter? Probably not. I've left it right over there instead of lining up a 3/4 inch. I don't think it will matter. No, it should be fine. Right, we'll just carry on. I tend to whiz, sorry. Hoping that's going to be far enough, I think. Might need to give it a hand on this bit because it's going through quite a lot. Slow down a little bit. Just gone a little bit off kilter. Hold on. Right. Oh, dog grooming. Where the handle is, I tend to backwards and forwards a bit. Okay, shifted slightly, annoying. Worry, it's fine. We'll just make a new line. Don't panic. You find that your seams are like, you know, a millimetre out, 2 millimetres out. Seriously, it is not going to show, okay? Do not worry about it. You sleep over it. This is why I pinned my zips out of the way. Where's that head? You're right in my way, aren't you? Don't want to hit a pin. Really, really don't want to hit a pin. See the head there. Right, let's take it out. Hope that the zip doesn't ping back on me. Yeah, that's going to be right in the way. Stay still zips. Slow down a little bit. Go on. Go on. I'll go back over that in a minute. Didn't quite catch well. I don't know why my machine wobbles. I'm sure it's a decorative machine, but it's been going for 6 years, so I'm not going to knock it. Right. Okay. I just want to go back over here because this didn't go well. That is because I didn't move my needle back over. Okay. Right, so do the usual. Chop here, chop there, chop there. I'll just quickly do that off screen, sorry. I did leave the zip open, didn't I? It's really hope and pray. Really hope you got your pockets up the right way as well. Got my hand stuck. Just got to watch those pins. Oh. I need to iron my butterfly a bit more. He's popping off. Right, okay. It's all going to have a good press anyway, so it'll be fine. Right, where are you? There you are. Okay, so if you get your hand in, do so. Just going to feed in my, I don't know what you're seeing. Gosh, this has been going on a bit, hasn't it? Sorry. Right, so I'm just going to pick out the corners. I'll just do this. I won't make you watch me sew up the lining. Because basically that's it finished now. So come out hand. Got some wayward threads there, which is marvellous. I'll sort you out in a minute. Right, let me wrangle with this and I'll come back and show you the finished article back in a sec. Right, apologies for that. I had to struggle to, but it turned through in the end. Hurrah. So there we are, it's all done. I was a bit cheeky whilst I was off. I put the end tabs on. I like to put those on. It just finishes off the end of the zip. Personal choice really, I think. Yeah, so there it is. It's all lined, pockets, etc. So yeah, it's all good. And a very useful, very pretty, very totally unique. I could never make another one like it. Little bag, gel print, bit of fabric piecing, and there it is. Gosh, sorry, that's a long one. I hope you found it useful. Any questions, just let me know, okay? I'm hoping I described it well. I don't know. All right, I'll see you later. Have a good day. Bye.